Adam here from the Walser Automotive Group, and what I want to do today is take you on a test drive. So next to me here, I have the 2025 Nissan Pathfinder. So we'll look at the interior, exterior, some of the trim level specifics, then go for a spin around, see what it's like out on the road. All right, so behind the wheel of the 25 Pathfinder, this is the Platinum trim. So there's a handful of different trim levels when you're looking at the Pathfinder. This one happens to be the top tier, so it's gonna give you all of the great equipment. Now, there's gonna be your S, SV, SL, the Rock Creek, if you're looking for a little bit more kind of off-road focused model, but this one does give you so much great equipment. But if you're looking to save a little bit of dough, the SSV or SL will also provide a lot of pretty great stuff. Now, for 2025, some of the changes that Nissan made is they actually added a maintenance care plan. So that's going to give you up to 3 oil changes for the first 2 years or 24,000 miles of your ownership. So again, helping you save a little bit of money there, and it's also just a little added convenience. Now, one of the other things they did is they added the power lift gate to some of the other trim levels where it's going to be standard on the top tier. Now it's going to be added into some of the lower tier trim levels, which I definitely like. So before we dig into it too much, let's put it in drive. We'll go for a spin around. Now, the Platinum, like I said, is the top of the food chain when it comes to the Pathfinder, and there's a lot of great stuff in here. The first thing you notice when you hop in is these seats. There's kind of a black and brown material that runs through, and they're really comfortable. Now, it's only about 1 outside today, 1 degrees Fahrenheit, so it is freezing cold. I hit the remote start before I even hopped into the vehicle. It had my heated seats going, and this one also gets the heated steering wheel, so it was nice and toasty and everything was thawed out. But these seats are also going to be ventilated. So for those Minnesota summers, when it finally gets nice out, it's gonna cool down really quickly for you. I love that feature, but on a day like today, these heated seats do get hot. Some of the manufacturers don't get quite as warm. I noticed that I even had to turn it down to the second or first level because it was pretty toasty. Now, what is going to power the Nissan Pathfinders? All of them are going to come with a 3.5 liter 6-cylinder, and they've gone away from the CVT, and now there's a 9-speed automatic transmission that's going to be standard across the board. Now, it's either going to come standard with front-wheel drive, unless you're looking at the Rock Creek, which only comes with 4-wheel drive, but I feel like most of the ones are getting delivered up here to the Midwest are going to come with the 4-wheel drive system, and you're only sacrificing about 1 mpg on the highway, so nothing too crazy for the benefits that you're getting with the 4-wheel drive. Now, it is an intelligent 4-wheel drive system, so it is going to help you get the best possible fuel economy, and this particular one is going to be rated at 25 on the highway, so for a third-road SUV, that's not too bad. Now, I obviously like the preferred 9-speed that you're getting with the new Pathfinder here, and there is paddle shifters. There's a few different drive modes, so if you're feeling a little sporty, you can kick it over into sport mode, use the paddles to go through the 9-speed, or you can also tow with these vehicles. So the base is going to be 3,500 pound towing capacity, but when properly equipped, these can tow up to 6,000 pounds. So that's a little bit more than the competition and enough to tow that large boat or maybe an enclosed trailer around, so that is pretty convenient as well. Now, let's talk about the exterior. So there's a bunch of different really cool colors. I love Nissan's lineup for 25. This is going to be the Boulder Gray, and this is also the two-tone. So it kind of splits the roof as the black on top. Does look pretty good. The Boulder Gray looks really sporty. This one kind of has those silver and black finished wheels that also come on the Platinum and do look pretty good, but there's a bunch of pretty cool wheel options. Whether you're looking at the Rock Creek, which is, like I said, more that off-road focused, I think the Platinum gives you a really good design and style on the exterior, and this is also going to have the LED daytime running lights and some pretty bright headlights up front, which is pretty good if you are going down to that campsite at night, doing a lot of night driving. That is pretty convenient there. Obviously, if you're looking at the Pathfinder, you're going to want to know about the third row. Now, this can be configured as a 7 or 8 passenger vehicle. This particular one does get the bucket seats in the back with a little removable storage area between the second row. So that's just a little bit of space. There's cup holders, kids can throw some stuff in there. There's also going to be USB and a household plug-in back there, so everybody can keep their devices charged up. And even in the third row, you're also going to get USB charging back there. Now, in the third row, it's pretty good. You know, I think if you got the kiddos back there, they're going to be more than fine in the rear. If you want to put some adults back there, it does get a little tighter, but there's not many of these third row SUVs where you could say, I've got a ton of room outside of maybe a Yukon or a Suburban XL where you do get all that added space, but I think you're still getting storage space in the back of this vehicle, and if you're not hauling people, those are a 60-40 split rear seat in the back, so you can kick down one side or the other. It does give you a pretty big cargo area, and then even into the second row, you can fold those those seats down, so it gives you a huge loading zone if you need to haul some stuff with you. But for people, like I said, that third row, I think the kids all the way up to being about teenagers are gonna have plenty of legroom back there, and the second row can slide, which does make it really easy. The one thing I really like that they thought of, the button to move the seats, there's one down low and one on the back of the seat. So even the little kiddos, if they want, can click the button, it'll fold and slide that seat forward power, which makes it really easy to access that third row. Now in the second row, those are gonna be heated seats for the second row, and you also get a third zone climate control back there, which makes it pretty comfortable for everyone on board. Now, one of the best things in here is the panoramic sunroof. It definitely opens it up, makes it nice and bright in the back of the vehicle, especially with the black interior really opens it up. I do like that feature that's offered on some of the higher tier trim level Pathfinders. What about the driver's seat? Now the ride and drive, like I said, with the 9-speed is great. I definitely prefer that over the CVTs. I feel like most of you do in the comments. Not that there's the worst with the CVT, but that 9-speed does give you a little bit of added sense of usability, convenience, fuel economy. It just works very nicely in this Pathfinder, and the 4-wheel drive is also pretty great. But the overall ride and drive, it, like I said, is freezing cold today, so everything feels always a little clunky, a little rattly. I didn't get any of that in the Pathfinder. Once the vehicle's warmed up, it's great. It's very quiet in here, much more quiet than I was even expecting. And the ride and drive is nice. The steering is actually really light in this vehicle. I love that I have my selectable drive mode, so if it does start snowing pretty good here, you can obviously fine tune that, which would make it pretty usable day to day. I mean, 95% of the time, I hop in the seat, I either got my heated seat or my ventilated seat going, which I like, and the heated steering wheel. Absolutely one of my favorite features. When your hands are nice and toasty and the seats are as comfortable as Nissan always delivers on, that would make this an excellent daily vehicle. Now, a few other pretty cool things. I had my phone paired up, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto in here. As soon as you hop in, it's connected. Spotify, Google Maps, text messaging, all of that is built right into that system. Makes it so easy and safe when you're on the go. You don't have to think about it. And I get wireless charging for my phone down there. Now, there is also USB and a USB-C plug down there, so you or the passenger can keep everything charged up. But I mean, overall, there's a lot of comfort in here. One other thing that's pretty cool in here is the digital gauge cluster. So that's a 12.3-inch display, gives you all of your information. You can scroll through with the buttons on the left side of the steering wheel. You can pretty much see everything from your Apple CarPlay to some of your safety settings that you can adjust, the 4-wheel drive, how that's operating and functioning. I love how easy and quick it is to use that. Plus, the screen itself isn't overly sized. There's an 8-inch or 9-inch, depending on which trim levels you're looking at, but it's not the full dash. It's just enough to get my CarPlay set up in here, my map, and a 360 view backup camera. That, if you hit something, you would have to be trying pretty hard because it's a pretty clear system. You can click the little camera button when you're stopped or trying to figure out what's going on, so you can look left, right, side to side. It's such a cool feature. I love that, and it does make it very safe. Now, a few other things, speaking of safety, this one does have blind spot monitoring, emergency braking as standard. It also comes with the adaptive cruise control. So if you're eating up a lot of highway miles, that again is one of my favorite features. Just makes it so easy to have kind of that little extra set of eyes from the Nissan looking over you. Maybe you're looking around trying to figure out something in the backseat with the kids. That lane departure system matched with the adaptive cruise control is a very safe feature to have in all of these Pathfinders. I mean, there's a lot to like here in the Pathfinder. As we just kind of come to a stop here, I'll back it up. Like I said, the backup camera, it's so good. It just makes it so easy to get in and out of a spot. Maybe the kids left some stuff in the driveway you couldn't quite see, or leaving that busy grocery store. You can click the little camera button. You can see to your left, to your right, and straight behind you. I love that feature. Plus, you do get parking sensors. Now, we have to touch on the pricing. So MSRP starts at about $38,000. This particular one, fully loaded up, comes in just over $56,000. So yes, you are getting a lot of equipment for the money with the Pathfinder, but maybe you don't need all this. If you're looking at the SL, the SV, or you want to be a little bit more off-road focused with the Rock Creek, there really is a Pathfinder that I kind of think fits everybody. So one thing that's great about the Pathfinder is it doesn't drive like a huge SUV. It's not, like I said, pushing around a Suburban XL everywhere. This is easy to park, easy to get in and out of traffic. There's more than enough power with this 6-cylinder, and you actually get, I think, about 11 horsepower more with the Rock Creek. So Whether it's the front wheel drive, all wheel drive, I mean, you're getting wireless Apple CarPlay, Bose sound system, the panoramic sunroof in here. The seats in Nissan vehicles are always some of my favorite. It is so comfortable in here. You immediately hop in, it feels great, everything is at arm's reach. I think if you're shopping, whether it's Honda, Toyota, Hyundai, looking at any of these third row SUVs, I think you gotta get out, take one of these Nissan Pathfinders for a spin and see what you think. Now that was just a quick look and drive at the 25 Nissan Pathfinder. Now if you have any other questions or you'd like to schedule a test drive, you can visit us online at walser.com or stop by anytime. We'd be more than happy to help. Thanks again for watching.